He was sparring his big boy, a heavyweight boy, and Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
It allowed Jake Paul's brother to be in there and be able to last with a smaller man, a smaller, older, greater fighter who mostly was concentrating on defense more than just offense.
Gervonta Davis is elevating his training to new heights as he goes to war in sparring sessions with heavyweight fighters ahead of his clash with Jake Paul. Davis isn't holding anything back, trading power punches with men far bigger than himself. One session reportedly got so intense that the heavyweight was left visibly shaken after Davis landed a thunderous shot.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. You probably about to spar Tank. He was sparring his big boy,
a
heavyweight boy, and Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is once again grabbing attention, this time by dominating heavyweight opponents during grueling sparring sessions. Renowned for his explosive power in the lightweight and super lightweight divisions, Davis is proving that size doesn't define strength. Recent footage shows him unleashing crisp combinations with remarkable speed and accuracy, keeping even larger fighters on edge. His ability to control the tempo, slip counters, and respond with calculated flurries highlights the intensity of his preparation. Every movement shows he's sharpening not only his power, but also the stamina needed to contend with bigger, stronger opponents, a key factor ahead of his highly anticipated showdown with Jake Paul.
Look like we're playing pool with a short stick. Oh, let me clean that there. Punch when he punched there. Punch when he punched. Punch when he punched. Yep. It ain't stop fine. We slowed down. Now we're going to commit fine again. That's what we do. We reload and come back. Yeah, you ain't got to get close, man, because we know you're scared to get close. Get close, man. Keep rolling, there. All the way down the road. Come to me, baby.
Despite the clear size difference between Davis and many of his sparring partners, Gervonta "Tank" Davis continues to push himself against opponents who outweigh him by a wide margin. These sessions aren't about overpowering anyone, they're about precision and control. He's mastering distance, dictating pace, and maintaining his trademark explosiveness even when pressured by much heavier fighters. According to his team, these challenging workouts help him refine his movement, angles, and timing, skills crucial for adjusting to Jake Paul's unconventional style. Davis recognizes that Jake's biggest advantage is size, so by facing heavyweights in training, he's neutralizing that factor early. It's a strategy built on discipline, confidence, and complete preparation for whatever comes once the bell rings.
Here's a clip of Gervonta "Tank" Davis releasing footage of him training and sparring with a heavyweight ahead of his showdown with YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, that's set to take place November 14th in Atlanta, Georgia at the State Farm Arena. Tank Davis is 5'4" and he weighs in at 135. His last fight, he actually was 133 pounds. Jake Paul is 6'1" with a 76-inch arm reach, and he weighed in at 199 pounds his last fight. And the fight before that, he weighed in at 224 pounds. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has a 67-inch arm reach. This is why this fight has to be ruled an exhibition and not a real professional boxing match, because no boxing commission will sanction it. Let me know what y'all think about this. As you see, Tank Davis is using and working on movement. Let me know. I'm gone. Peace.
Former UFC star and fight analyst Chael Sonnen has made it clear that Gervonta "Tank" Davis carries the weight of boxing's credibility in his upcoming matchup. Sonnen emphasized that while Jake Paul has undeniably brought attention to the sport, it's now up to Davis to remind fans what true boxing looks like. For Sonnen, this fight goes beyond entertainment. It's a statement. Davis's mission is to prove that technical skill, timing, and years of ring experience still outweigh social media fame. Sonnen stated confidently that Tank's goal is to cut through the circus surrounding Jake's career and let his fists deliver the message. A knockout, he said, wouldn't just be a win, it would be a powerful reminder of what elite boxing really is.
Which is to let anybody know that's listening
that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in. I want to say it was like 8 pounds.
As fight week approaches, new footage and reports confirm that Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been sparring with heavyweight fighters during his training camp. These sessions are anything but light. They're intense, full-contact simulations designed to push Tank beyond his comfort zone. According to his trainers, the idea is to make the actual fight feel easier by testing him against tougher, heavier opposition in the gym. Facing these big men forces Davis to refine his defensive instincts, enhance his head movement, and learn to generate power efficiently against larger opponents. With each round, his confidence grows, proving that timing and precision can neutralize size and strength. It's an unconventional yet highly effective approach, one that underscores just how seriously Davis is taking Jake Paul as a legitimate threat. Renowned boxing trainer Teddy Atlas has shared his thoughts, calling Gervonta "Tank" Davis one of the most powerful and technically gifted fighters in the sport today. Atlas dismissed concerns about Jake Paul's size advantage, insisting it will mean little once the first bell rings. He explained that Davis's experience against elite competition gives him an edge Jake simply can't replicate. Throughout his career, Tank has faced every kind of opponent: counterpunchers, pressure fighters, taller opponents, and defensive specialists. In contrast, Jake's resume lacks true boxing veterans. Atlas added that those wondering, "What if Jake lands one big shot?" are missing the bigger picture. Davis's ability to stay composed and adapt under pressure, Atlas said, is what separates a seasoned fighter from an entertainer stepping into the ring for show.
You have one guy who, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter, he can punch, and he's fighting a guy who's not a top 12 fighter, he's bigger. What if he hits him on the chin? It'll wind up selling. And that's what it'll wind up selling. The what if? What if Tank makes him do a cha-cha? He hits him on the chin, and Jake Paul, we're going to find out if he can dance. Whoa. Do the cha-cha. That's what's going to sell it. And you can't argue that what if. You can't. I know I get to places that other people won't go and everything else, but just dismiss stuff because it's easier to do that, it's safer to do that. You don't have to bows and arrows coming at you from people that argue with you because you did that, but I don't care. I've had bows and arrows my whole life. But that's true. That what if? What if this guy who is a real good puncher, who is one of the best fighters in the world right now, what if he hits him? What if he makes a miss and he counters him? Or he jumps up in the air? Right! And he hits him. Sid Terrace was a great fighter. No, not the 1700s, but years ago. And Customato told me he loves Sid Terrace. He said, Teddy, he used to jump up in the air and hit you with 3 jabs. I said, whoa, man, Sid Terrace. All right. Anyway, look, I can't finish without saying that it did invoke some memories and thoughts that we've been here before in a different way, where Jake Paul's brother fought Mayweather. That's not forget. And I'm not saying I like that either. I mean, first of all, Mayweather was past his prime. He was already retired. He was older. Everything, but he's still the great Mayweather. And Mayweather was fighting a guy, what was it, 50-pound difference, 60-pound difference, whatever it was. And that size made a difference. It allowed Jake Paul's brother to be in there and be able to last with a smaller man, a smaller, older, greater fighter who mostly was concentrating on defense more than just offense.
Sports analyst Max Kellerman offered a more personal perspective on Gervonta "Tank" Davis's motivation, suggesting that he took the Jake Paul fight partly to secure long-term financial stability and spend more time with his family. After years of grueling training camps and title defenses, Davis reportedly wanted a matchup that delivered both excitement and a well-deserved financial payoff. Kellerman noted that Tank has been contemplating a slower career pace, prioritizing family life and mental well-being. To him, the Jake Paul fight isn't just about business. It's a transitional moment. It's a chance for Davis to enjoy the rewards of his success, while reminding the world that, even as he looks toward balance and longevity, he remains one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing when it's time to lace up the gloves.
You got a guy like Gervonta, who I personally think has been checked out for way longer than this last fight. I think he was checked out prior to the Roach fight. I thought this was all going to be in the works, where he was supposed to beat the 16-1 Roach and then go on to fight Jake Paul and then call it a career, because I think the people around him understood there wasn't much left in the tank for him in terms of his want or his desire to be here. He did an interview with Dan Canobio about 18 months ago where he's like, yeah, man, I just kind of want to raise my family. I don't know how much left in boxing for me. I don't want to see a therapist. I want to, I need to, but I kind of want to take away from my fighting. But I think it's time for me to do stuff like that. So I think the writing's been on the wall for Tank for a while. So that draw was kind of just like, I was on the way out anyway. I don't need to go back in there. And I said it at the end of that fight. I'm like, there's no way we see that again. He was so uncomfortable in that ring with Roach. He doesn't want to feel that again. He showed that night. So I'm not surprised that fight's not happening. I'm not even surprised he's fighting Jake Paul.
The two,
it's a